What's up? What's going on? I want to welcome you back to the 7 Steps on How to School College Edition. Let's get into it. Okay, so we in step 4. Okay, step 4, undecided. Okay, I'm saying it again. Step 4, undecided. Too often, kids are going to college and they're forced into making a decision on what major they want to pick. Hey, if you don't know what you want to do for the rest of your life, I completely understand that. What happens is kids change their major over and over and over again because they simply just don't know what they want to do. However, that's a bad idea. Let me tell you how to do it, okay? But before I tell you how to do it, I want to tell you a quick little story. I was at Oakland my first year. Every school has orientation for freshmen. So I went to my orientation. I'm sitting in there. They're telling me all this stuff about how the school is, what you can do, how's the campus life, all of this stuff. Then they start talking about majors. The first thing that they talked about is being undecided. They asked everybody, what's your major? So everybody's raising their hand, oh, I'm biology, or I'm engineering, I'm this, I'm that, all this other stuff, right? At the time, I was going into biology, pre-med. I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. That didn't work out. Somehow I ended up in business and writing books and doing public speaking and all this stuff. So they talked about students who was undecided. It was like, oh, being undecided is the worst thing that you can do. You don't want to be the drifters or the in-betweens. That's what they called them. That's what they called undecided, drifters, in-betweens, all this other stuff. Don't be undecided. I completely disagree with students in their first year not being undecided. I think that students should be undecided in their first year. And here's why. You get an opportunity to see what you want to do in your first year. You can go to classes, sit in those classes, especially when it's at universities in the intro level classes, because the classes are huge. They have anywhere from 100 to 200 students in that class. You can go in that class, sit in there, and soak in all that knowledge to figure out if that's a direction that you want to go. Like a biology class, a psychology class, all of those stuff. You can do so much and gain so much just by being undecided. Here's another thing about being undecided. When you're undecided, you can just focus on your gen eds. You don't have to take major classes, okay? When you take your gen eds are classes that every single student has to take, okay? Every major / degree has gen ed classes, which are general education classes. It is your biology, it is your psych, it is your math, it is your English, intro to theater, philosophy, all of those classes, every single student has to take, okay? So you do not have to declare for a major. You can just be undecided. And you can take your gen ed classes because at the end of the day, each one of those majors need those classes. So this is what I suggest. This is my formula for success. You go in your first year, okay? You have no idea what you want to do. Everyone's talking about you saying like, oh, how you not know what to do? Forget them. You are fine, okay? You are fine. Walk in that door and be undecided. When you go talk to your counselor, when you set up your classes, they're going to be like, oh, well, no, you want to kind of declare for a major. No. I want to be undecided. I just want to take my gen eds for my first semester. Structure your schedule. Structure your schedule so that you can go and sit in some of these classes to see how they are. To see if you want to be in this major. Go talk to some professors. Go walk and go to different events that's on campus. You can do all of that stuff for free. Because here's the thing. If you declare for a major, right? You start taking major classes and the gen eds at the same time, and then you realize you no longer want to be in that major. And you switch majors. most of the time, like 80 to 90% of the time, those major classes don't transfer into the next degree that you're going into, because those major classes are only specific towards that major. Okay? That's it. So that means when you switch majors, they don't transfer over. You do not want to do that, especially if you're at a university and you're paying almost $1,200 per class and you're going to switch. That's a waste of money. You just wasted $1,200. You just wasted $1,200 from your Pell Grant that you will never get back. Okay? All you have is useless credits. The university looks at you and say, oh, well, we really can't use those credits. Well, we can use them in this, but if you like 2-3 years into your major and you're taking these major classes and the gen ed at the same time, they won't transfer over. Trust me, I did it. I went from biology pre-med to occupational therapy to global supply chain and business. I lost some classes and it hurt. It really hurt. So don't do it. Don't waste time. This is your time. People are forcing you into making decisions. Here's the thing. It is your life. So you need to figure out what you want to do and take that time. Most likely you don't know what you want to do for the rest of your life. Take your time. Okay, so I'm begging you, please take your time. It is extremely important that you do, because if you don't, you'll end up in situations like me. And like I said, the whole purpose of me doing this video is you not to make the same mistakes that I made when I was in school, because I didn't have the knowledge that I'm giving to you at this moment. So I need you to focus on the decisions that you make. Do not rush into decisions. Focus. Cool? You solid.